Hey y'all, this is Tommy Guns, and I'm here with the TOP Episode 2 promo. Tonight we're talking about wrestlers who were troubled.
A lot of them, right?
There were a lot of them, and right now the first wrestler who crosses my mind is Scott Hall.
Scott Hall. Yeah, well, that's an easy one, right? Because, quite honestly, Scott Hall's got a shitload of problems. For a guy who, man, I mean, it's tough. That dude has so much talent. I mean, not only on the mic, but in ring. And Scott Hall just getting involved with all the drugs and shit. I mean, back in the day, it was a rock and roll lifestyle. He said it, but
It was all the pills and stuff I got him, you know?
yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, he talked about doing coke with Shawn Michaels and
Doing pills where they're sitting there going, "You awake?
yeah. Yo, Shawn.
You awake?" But, like, Scott Hall was one of my favorites, you know? Like, yeah, he was troubled, but, like, you look back to some, like, the WWE days and, like, earlier WCW days, you're like, oh, wow, he was on something.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we are the Outsiders podcast. We're modeled after the Outsiders, and it's tough to talk about a guy who...
Probably one of my favorites, you know?
Guys, I've been saving this to the end. We obviously know why. If I had a top 5 list, Razor would definitely be number 4. I mean, number 1 through 3 are solid in there, but Razor's definitely number 4 solid in there. There's no ifs or buts.
Yeah.
Razor.
For me, was it Razor who's fucked up, or was it Scott Hall who's
fucked up?
It was Scott Hall who's fucked up, but it started when he was Razor, man. I mean, when you come into the game and Vince had never... So from the reports I hear, man, Vince had never seen Scarface. He had never seen a Scarface impression. And that's how Scott Hall, a.k.a. Razor Ramon, really sold it to him. He's like, hey, lay the Scarface on the line. And if you know Scott Hall, you know he really modeled his persona after Scarface. It's really hard to see him nowadays, man. I watch a lot of stuff on Scott Hall, man, and you know how I feel, man. There's just an E60 program, and yeah, this is E60, ESPN. Shout out to them, man. This is really awesome that they did this. But Michael Smith did a whole thing with Scott Hall, man. It was really hard to watch because when Scott Hall got to the ring on the match that was actually entitled for the night that he was supposed to be in, halfway through his promo, he's laying on the floor, and you could just tell it's one of them drug comas. You could really tell this is a man where the addiction got him, man. It's not one of them situations where maybe the career ended too short for him or, you know, he died before his career really could take off. This is a man we've seen at the height of his game, and it's where the things we don't think about as being a normal everyday wrestler really kicks in.
Because he was a human. Like, you see that, he was a human being before he was a wrestler.
Yeah, know? Exactly, man. I mean, you see him as a human man.
You don't feel bad as a...
When everything's kayfabe, man, you really don't feel the emotions that you feel when they take it outside the kayfabe and you see him, man. I see him laying on the ground, presenting the match and talking shit, and I'm like...
And then the promoter still wants him to wrestle,
Exactly, man. And the first thing that pops into my mind is one of the shoots that I've seen where it's him talking to so-and-so, and he admits, you know, him and Shawn Michaels are in the room, and he looks at Shawn Michaels, he's like, hey, Shawn, are you dead yet? And he's like, no. And then he's like, take these, man. I mean, every time I see Scott Hall now, I think of that moment. Why? Scott Hall was amazing, man. You had so much promise. But what happened, man? Drugs really took the handle of your career, man. Yeah. And if it wasn't for the drug game, where would you be now? Sure.
Seeing it, like, you see that, but part of me, I still see Scott Hall as, first off, Razor Ramon. I still see him as that. I still see him as the Diamond Stud. So it's really hard to see him like in the resurrection of Jake the Snake.
Yeah, that's right.
Like I saw him in that and I was like, I watched this guy growing up.
Yeah, weird when they're real.
It kind of fucks you up. You're like, he's a human being too.
What do you guys think about Ken Kennedy or Ken Anderson?
That's a tough one, man. I'll go real quick on this one, man. I don't have a lot to say, man. We already know. Drug and Wellness Program definitely took control of that, man. Amazing on the mic. In-ring ability was up there, man. The only thing that sucked, man, you can't leave that addiction alone. Once again, Scott Hall all over again.
I liked Ken Kennedy, Ken Anderson, you know? Like, you would see that microphone drop.
The Mr. Anderson. Sorry, I'm going TNA days right there.
Or you would see Kennedy.
You know,
you wouldn't think of the drug. You wouldn't think of whatever was troubling him. But you know what? Like, when you watch him perform,
it was good.
You didn't see the drug.
He was a hell of a guy. Hell of a wrestler. Yep.
Yeah.
About Luger. When we talk about Lex.
Oh, God.
That's a tough one because I was a huge fan of Miss Elizabeth.
But
And that was a weird situation. It was like he provided the drugs to overdose, and now he's a priest or preacher.
he's
a free man. That's all that matters to me.
but
That's
like
true.
I knew Lex Luger from like the WWE days.
That's
He
a
came
narcissist.
The narcissist,
He came in as a narcissist,
Flex
and then-
in front of the mirror.
and then he came in on the first episode of Nitro
Body slamming.
as Lex Luger. You don't think about the drug issues until you hear about Miss Elizabeth dying in his house.
Yeah.
So you don't think about that. So it's kind of hard to think about him as a troubled wrestler until then. He was normal until Miss Elizabeth died. That's my opinion, but
Yeah, I mean, it took a lot out of his character, and I really actually at that point I was just done with Lex. So
and right now he's in a wheelchair.
yeah,
Like he can't even walk.
that's true. I mean, dude, roided as fuck. I mean, it was crazy. Another name, which is kind of, for me, it's kind of sensitive because I had recently picked back up on this on the WWE Network. Brian Pillman. It's a tough one.
See, the thing for Brian Pillman with me is I will remember Brian Pillman for one incident and one incident only. He's got a gun with Stone Cold.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That was a big
is-
one. For me, I don't really remember Brian Pillman so much in his WWE days. I guess I'm a little
Flying Brian.
preemptive. Yeah, I'm huge on the Flying Brian in the WCW
Or
days.
the Hollywood Blondes with Stone Cold.
Exactly,
It's a-
man.
it's
And the
a
thing
big-
that really hurts for me, man, is that I know at the time. So earlier this week, just to give you guys a little inside knowledge. Me and Mr. Mean Dean, we've been talking like crazy. We always do. Me, Tommy Guns, and Mean Dean, we just talk always outside of the program. Obviously, that's how we stay in touch with where we want to go with everything. But me and Dean were talking, man, and he let me in a little inside information. Previously, I thought it was just the drug uses that really killed Brian Pillman before, but instead, it's actually the fact that Brian Pillman was about to get a huge push by the WWE, and my main man, Mean Dean, let me in on this. And then knowing that insider information, Mean Dean let me into, it just kind of really let me know, man, that is it always the main push to be the headliner of the main card that's really what you're pushing for, and is it always really what it's worth? So hey, now that I said that, Mr. Mean Dean, can I flip that to you and let me get a response on that?
Yeah, I mean, he took, his wife said he was on HGH a lot. And he did some cocaine. It's tough because he's trying to push for that big body for the contract, whether it's between WCW or WWF at the time, WWE. That just sucks, man. It really makes you think of Chris Benoit and what he was going through, and obviously that was a whole different scenario, and that's something that will take an entire episode of the Outsiders podcast. But Pillman was a tough one for me. I thought McMahon handled it really weird. At Bad Blood, where Taker took on Michaels for the first Hell in a Cell, it was more surreal than anything, and it was almost like he was sort of hiding it in a way. That's a story. I mean, that's what happened with Brian Pillman. But one more for you guys. What about Sonny? Whore.
Oh God! Only thing this is my thoughts and not JG's or Mean Dean's. But only thing now that I think of Sunny taking a dick in her ass for money on a porn tape.
Yeah. Mine's real quick, fellas. 10 seconds or less. Sonny, if you want to do a porno, let's do it.
She's even taking fucking selfies for like $50 a pop for people.
Tommy, if
That's
she wants
too
to do a
much.
porno, let's do it. I'm down.
I mean-
Sonny, if you're out there and you're listening, baby girl, let's shoot. We'll make millions.
This was the girl of our dreams in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
Hey, Terry Reynolds
Like-
is mine, bro. Did you see those nips?
I mean, Terry Reynolds was amazing.
Nipping all day.
But before Terry,
Sable,
hold on.
Trish.
Let me speak on this. Before Terry Reynolds, before Trish, before Sable, there was Sunny. You had no one else but Sunny. She was there with the Godwins, with the Smoking Guns,
Yeah,
with everybody. Like, you had that girl. Like, you were 12 years old, doing the knuckle shuffle, enjoying Sunny. I swear to God, like,
Sonny's hitting up the five.
I love Sunny still. To this day, I'm 30 years old, and Sunny, I hate to say it, but come on now, girl.
Yeah. I mean,
I love you. What are you doing taking a dick in the
Yeah.
ass for money?
Yeah.
Come on now.
you got to figure that, the overall image of these wrestlers it's certainly taken a toll on everything that these people have created within the wrestling business. But certainly we hate to see people like Brian die or Scott Hall go through his drug problems or anything like that. And, regardless of our opinions, the Outsiders podcast doesn't mean any disrespect towards any of these people. In fact, these are the people we grew up with. So it's got to be sort of a black eye on the wrestling community. But at the same time, these are real people. I mean, these are celebrities, but these are real fucking people. These are people who go through a lot of shit. So
they're moms and dads like we are.
All right, TE, close it out.
This is the second episode for the Outsiders podcast. I'm Tommy Guns with Mean Dean and JG.
JG signing out saying 316.
Peace,
Put a hole in that ass.
Hole in that ass?